we didn't need this. We didn't need this at all. We didn't need to think that the police can't be trusted. That the police might, in fact, have arrested the seer only to get the pressure off them, or maybe even off the government. Viewers, last night, after Times Now demanded the end to this culture of patronage, the seer was arrested. As you know, it marked a triumph for people power. For you. But it appears, viewers, that some of our fears might be coming true. I have always said that with the entire political class giving the seer a clean sheet even before the probe can begin, the dice is loaded in his favor and against those two minors, those two teenage girls who have gone risking everything, their reputation, their family's safety, their entire compact with the Mutt, the support of their friends, to take on a very powerful and influential figure. And what are we seeing, viewers? The travesty continuing. How? The seer suddenly says, after spending 4 hours in police custody, that he has a pain in his chest, that he's on the brink of some sort of a cardiac event. Viewers, he was so ill that he walked gladly up to the ward in the hospital. If you're on the brink of a cardiac event, viewers, you're usually out on your back, sometimes out cold. Nonetheless, the court, sensing that this could be what we all apprehend, one big ruse, decided to look into this matter. It doesn't really matter, viewers, what anyone says. We have seen a large number of other politicians in the recent past who profess their innocence, but when under media pressure they were taken into custody, developing all sorts of heart complications. In fact, it's not new. This is a very old stratagem. And the sad part is that more often than not, the police indulge it. So we have a regular tamasha where the influential, the rich, the powerful clutch their hearts, not out of guilt, but because they're getting pangs of apprehension. What will happen to us in jail? Maybe we have to answer for our crimes, alleged crimes. Viewers, that is perhaps what is happening, but it raises a fundamental question. Can the police be trusted to conduct a free and fair probe? That's the fundamental question. And I want to open this up. Odanadi Parshuram, who's a complainant, is with us. Hopefully his camera will settle and I'll be able to speak with him. Brinda Adige, activist, is here with us. Pratibha Prahlad, renowned artist and culture specialist, with us. Anurag Naidu and Rahul Ishwar. Also here with us, viewers, is Mithun Vijayakar, political analyst. Let me first begin with Anurag Naidu. Mr. Naidu, this is a playbook. This is a playbook now that has become so commonplace that it has even lost its novelty value. You almost know for certain an influential person, when he's going to be arrested, is suddenly going to clutch his heart and is going to be rushed to hospital, where another farce will play out. Where instead of spending time in jail to ruminate over your alleged crimes, you will be cosseted by the state. Favors will be bestowed upon you. Justice will be mocked. Is that what is happening, Mr. Naidu, here? Can we even trust the police? Can we trust the
Rahul,
police?
Rahul, I think this is an opportunity to applaud the efforts of the state government. All the 6-7 days, media has been shouting, oh, there is no arrest, there is no arrest, there is no action. Police has registered the case on day one. Chief Minister, who is a Lingayat Chief Minister, nominated by none other than Mr. Yedurappa, came on record and said, I support investigation. Now, all these days we've been saying, where is the arrest? Now, the arrest has happened. That's what I've been telling in all the channels. Now we say, okay, let us execute. Let's do a media trial and execute him. And let's say, oh, well done, let's break TRP because people are watching it. The point here is, even if there is an iota of doubt in what girls are saying is true, he has to be subjected to the strictest punishment. But we should also applaud the effort of the state police, even having so much of political pressure, opposition, media, but they have stood their ground. The point is, there is
stood their ground. Media, Mr. Naidu, are you giving it away? Stood their ground? No, stood their ground against what? The police don't look at the caste, I hope, of an accused.
Yes.
They don't care about societal impact beyond a point. So, what do you mean stood their ground? To what? Political pressure? Pressure from the Mutt? Electoral pressure?
Of course, there was a former chief minister saying on record that there is no mistake. The opposition leaders are saying...
So the police have done us... So you're saying that the police that should actually be standing their ground, which is obligatory upon them to do so, have done us a favor? Rahul, is that what you're saying?
Rahul, we should appreciate their effort. We have somebody who is known for their
viewers,
who is known for his efforts towards the society.
I would go along with you happily, Mr. Naidu.
Students have studied from the Mutt.
I would go along with you.
Has been given.
Okay.
All the days we have an image of gentleman Dr. Shivamurthy, and suddenly we say because of an allegation, which may be true, I'm not denying that, but we cannot put the entire spiritual community in a bad light.
Who is putting the entire... Hang on, just a minute. Mr. Naidu, I think you are... Okay, Mr. Naidu, before you take off, please. Okay, can I come in? Can I come in? Can I come in? Can I come in? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what experiences you've had on other channels. Times Now is very focused. We have never said that this is an affliction that has gripped one community or the whole community of seers. No, please, Mr. Naidu, please appreciate the fact that I'm not speaking over you. So just give me 30 seconds. In case you're under an impression which might be wrong, I just want to correct it. After that, we can proceed with what is the main aspect of this debate, which is whether the police can deliver free and fair justice. That's it. I just want to tell you, Times Now doesn't generalize. We are very focused. Of course, there are many seers out there, sadhus out there who are doing a good job by their flock. I'm quite sure of it, viewers. They're honest. They're God-fearing. But there are black sheep everywhere. And it becomes incumbent upon us to speak truth to power when there is an apprehension that a great travesty is being committed. In this particular case, let's not forget, we are talking about two teens, 15 and 16. POCSO Act has been applied. Their charge is grave. They have had the gumption to go and depose before a magistrate. This should have been an open and shut case of arrest. It should not have taken 6-7 days. And now, we should not have been seeing a seer's, sorry to say, but what appears like an exaggerated claim to have been indulged. Nonetheless, fine, the police took a precaution. I understand that. This is not about larger community. So, Mr. Naidu, let's bring it back. And let me ask Brinda Adige, let me ask Pratibha Prahlad, let me ask Udanadi Parshuram. Let me first begin with him. Mr. Parshuram, you're a complainant in this matter. How do you see what has transpired over the last few hours?
Very importantly, I'm not the complainant. Children is the complainant.
Sure.
I am telling these things. Children is the complainant. What they say, I am transferred to the CWC within 345 hours.
Yes.
And afterwards, the children was moved to CWC, and CWC also be counseling. And afterwards, they have come to the conclusion then immediately a fire is occurred. And transferred to the Chitradurga. In the meanwhile, there is a lot of things the children was sharing to us in the counseling matter. In the counseling aspect of view, I did not want to reveal it because of 164 already is done it in the Chitradurga Magistrative Court.
Yes.
Because of that, I did not want to reveal that. And meanwhile, the police inquiry thing, that is totally different. Because of last 7 days, they did not inquire properly. I'm telling this, and they are always they are take a lot of time to.
So you're alleging bias. You're alleging bias on the part of the police, and that's the apprehension. Okay. Now 1 second. Let me bring in Pratibha Prahlad and Brinda Adige. I want to draw your attention, Ms. Adige, to what the Calcutta High Court had said about Partha Chatterjee. You might have heard of Partha Chatterjee, politician in Bengal, arrested recently for alleged links to a particular financial impropriety. Now, a general comment by the High Court in the context of this story. In recent past, more than one high-ranking political leader belonging to the ruling political party were arrested or directed to appear before the investigating authority for interrogation, and they successfully avoided interrogation by the investigating agency, taking shelter in the said hospital. Now, quite clearly, Ms. Adige, this is a virus. You are called in. You might be innocent, may not be innocent. The moment the noose tightens around your neck, your heart begins to experience certain problems. Ms. Adige, what are we seeing here? Is justice being mocked or is it being served? I'm keeping it very open-ended. No judgments tonight.
Justice is being mocked along with all the citizens. There is not going to be any justice just now if the police have refused to even follow the procedures that have been laid down. How will we reach step 10 if the police have not covered step 1 to 9 and the police have bungled at every step? You look at what has happened, and Parshuram can also add in over here, from the day the FIR was filed. Why did they have to take 2-3 days to go and make a 164 statement? When did they do the medical? Did they secure the other children in the hostel? Did they prevent the alleged accused from entering that hostel so that whatever might be the evidence that the police can garner will be kept safely? No, none of that was done. In fact, like you had mentioned, this is a virus. This man was taking walks in his mata, addressing large gatherings, talking about his innocence and conspiracies. But the moment he surrenders and the police have to take him into judicial custody, this man has got chest pain, nose pain, and every other pain under the sun. Probably the doctors must treat him for psychosomatic issues, because now he's not only mocking all of us, but the state machinery. And the politicians are hand in glove. So the police, their hands are tied. They have not been able to follow the procedure as laid down by law. And when rule of law is not followed by those who have to enforce the law, what justice can these children expect? So
let me now bring in Ms. Prahlad and also Mr. Vijay Kumar. Mr. Vijay Kumar, what we are seeing, we're not getting into the particularities of it. What we are seeing here is an unfortunate loss of confidence in those that are meant to enforce the law. All of this is raising questions about the capacity of the police to act without fear or favor. Your response?
Is it to me?
Yes, sir. Mr. Vijay Kumar, go ahead.
Mithun. My name is Mithun Vijay Kumar. Actually.
Yes.
Yes. So see, if this incident has really happened, it's a very heartbreaking incident, and I don't know how to justify it. But if it has not happened, there is another side that we are not discussing at all. It's a dangerous, if it has not happened, then it's a dangerous message to the society that no matter how powerful you are, no matter how powerful you are, the laws formulated for the protection of the weaker sections of the society could be misused against just anyone. It could be you, me, or anyone, any Swami or any politician. It can happen with anyone. And let me tell you, the POXO cases or the rape cases, there have been POXO cases registered against mothers. There have been POXO cases, false POXO cases, I'm saying. Last year, a mother in Kerala was acquitted when a false POXO case was registered and saying that her 13-year-old son was being abused by her for 3 good years. And this has happened. We have such evidences. We have such statistics in this country that these laws formulated for the protection of the weaker section is being misused to a large extent. Even women protection laws, rape laws, all these are being abused. In such a case, how can we take one side? How can we, not look at it from the other perspective? Okay. Now, we are all saying that the police is kind of, they have delayed the investigation.
Quick responses. Okay, fair enough. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that, look, this could be another travesty against a powerful individual. Draconian laws are being used, perhaps.
There is a possibility.
I don't agree with you. But I'm going to reserve my comment for a little later. Ms. Adige raised her hand. She wants to respond. One second, sir. 1 second. Ms. Adige raised her hand. I'll tell you. Ms. Adige raised her hand. Quick response, and then I want to bring in Ms. Prahlad. Yes.
This is a typical gender stereotypical response from a society like ours that is largely patriarchal. Caste aspersions on the children, on the victim, on the survivors. Caste aspersions, malign them, you shatter their character, and then now let us see who believes them. The POXO law has been formulated on the premise that it is a special law where children will be believed. And Parshuram already explained, they did not immediately run to the police to register FIR. The children went through several sessions of counseling. You do understand what several sessions of counseling mean. To ascertain, so that the child is not confused, so that there are no convoluted statements, so the child is very clear. Maybe the child is not having words to speak. So there is a lot that is done by counselors to reach a stage where they would say, I think we may have a case. But still, let us go before the Child Welfare Committee. Don't cast aspersions on the children.
Okay, don't do that. And that's the point that I wanted to make, but it's been so beautifully made by Ms. Adige tonight. Ms. Prahlad, how do you respond to what Mr. Naidu and also Mr. Vijay Kumar are saying at a time when it looks now increasingly that we may not actually have a fair investigation?
My point in this, I've been on the television for the last 2 days also, like most of them. And what I want to say is that what we have faced is this marriage between religion and politics. And we have to, as a society, understand that politics is different from religion and somehow keep them separate. Because right now, we will see that, all the politicos are in favor of this religious head. And then because it's the election year and because there's a 17% vote at stake in Karnataka, nobody wants to take a public stand. And now they're saying that even the police, has to take, orders from the chief minister or from the government. Institutions have to be given power and authority to carry out their job profile and what is expected of them without fear or favor. And that is how a democracy can function. And, Rahul, I think I'm getting an echo on my own voice, so can you please ask them to reduce that? Because
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, we'll just work on it. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, what I want to really say is that I agree, largely with what Brinda has been saying, because this is a patriarchal society and they are the powerful, they are the rich, and they are these men who all, kind of shield one another and don't want to give away anybody else's flaws or faults, And I think that, in a democracy, the law has to operate. There are SOPs for the police. They should have gone by the SOPs and by the POCSO Act and arrested this man, and this whole facade, the farce of having chest pain after you're arrested, and he was not even taken to Davangere Medical College, which is next door, but was brought to Bangalore to Jayadeva Institute of Cardiology. Why, for God's sake? And then he was trying to be shifted to the ICU. I mean, why do these powerful and rich men suddenly develop heartache?
Because the system allows it. Because the system allows it. And the system is on test, viewers.
Faced with law.
Absolutely. All of us are also on test.
Yes,
don't think you're absolved.
I agree with you 100%.
Don't you think that any one of you is absolved?
And
you are.
Rahul, like some...
Yes, 1 second. I have to say this because we are wrapping out now, viewers. We've run out of time.
Let us just remember, Rahul.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let us just remember. Yes.
No, I just want to say that even before... Let us just remember that, even before he was arrested yesterday, there was a medical examination carried out.
There was.
In the Mutt itself.
That is why today the system is on test. And so is your response, viewers. Your response can make the difference. I am not saying today that anyone is guilty. Under the law, you are innocent till you are convicted of a crime. That is the Indian system. But the only way you can separate the truth from the lies, the wheat from the chaff, is by actually investigating fairly. If even that is compromised, there is going to be no proof. And if there's not going to be proof, there will be a let-off. And haven't we seen that on several occasions, viewers, when it comes to the powerful and the influential? He is not the first here, and he won't be the last religious head across any denomination to be asked questions, troubling questions. And in the past, some have turned out to be individuals of clay. There is a probability here that there is more to this matter than meets the eye. But we will never know if those, as Brinda Adige said, who are entrusted to uphold the law, don't apply it. That it be a bigger travesty. I leave it at that, viewers. We will be focusing on this story. Times now always fights the fight of those who don't have a voice. Remember that. We're not going to go away.